I need to share this.
Yeah, now you're live and you just started like that. We're
I do
already
believe.
weird.
I do believe Hallie has something to say.
Hey! Oh, and then you put it back on me.
Yep.
Okay, so clearly, even though you can't see Anthony's picture, but if you've ever watched any of our previous streams, we are a bunch of white people. So let me be very, very, very clear about this. We stand with Black Lives Matter. There is no justice, no peace, and it is our job to listen and be aware and donate and volunteer and speak up when and where we can, however we can. That's it, because we have to stop talking. So Chatbot has all of the donation information. It's pinned on Twitter for us. If you don't like that message that we stand behind, 155,000 fucking %, you can get the fuck out, because I don't want you here. We've existed for almost 3 years. We are not going to start being anything but totally freaking honest with you. So, that's it. That's all I got, because I'm so angry that I can't, if I start anymore, I will, like, explode. So. I'm too old, y'all. I'm not having it.
We need that. we need that on unexploded, thanks.
Getting too old for this shit. 2 days away from retirement, damn it!
Oh, you stole that. I'm so ready.
I've been 2 days away from retirement for 20 years, man.
Turn in your gun and your badge. Yeah, so...
me, I quit.
I quit.
Along with what Hallie was saying, we figured we'd go ahead and play. I know that there are a lot of games that are offline and just taking a break for solidarity, but we felt it was more important, well, not more important, but in a way, a good idea to keep like some entertainment and some happiness in such a horrible, like, depressing time in our society right now. And I think it's important just to remember that there are avenues for fun and adventure, and there is still hope out there, which is why we're continuing to do this. And we're doing this to help support and to help kind of platform some of these charities and everything and just get the word out.
I will match the next $100 that is donated. So if it doesn't have to be all 100 donated by one person. If you donate $5, I will match it. But up to the next $100 for either one of the charities, I will match it. And if you donate, I'll put you into a drawing and I'll run a special custom one-shot for you if you win. So I might not be a top-tier DM, but I have thousands of hours of experience, and these people put up with me, so... Take us on a journey. Pick me a word picture.
Stars.
Okay. Anybody else have anything that they want to say before we get started into any other announcements or anything?
I think Holly hit the nail on the head on that one.
All right. All right. So with episode 3 of Starfinder. When last we left our intrepid heroes, they were investigating the disappearance of a Professor Silstarni from the Kabarat University, discovering messages in her email and around her office that may suggest she was kidnapped by someone. Also discovering her recent communications with one Arab Paqual, who from some diving through the data sphere may be a fake persona used to trick Dr. Silstarni. The party discovered a meeting point called the Five Arches and made their way there to inquire about the true identity of Arab Paqual. While asking around the Five Arches as to who this unknown person was, the Goran Belladon came into contact with a smuggler who found the name Pasquale familiar and asked if the group needed some fake IDs made to get to Torhalu Point, like Pasquale did. After several failed interrogation attempts, the smuggler, known as Tonus N, told the group to follow him to conduct business elsewhere, which eventually led the party into an ambush. After a quick and efficient combat, Tonus N surrendered and told the group about the IDs and passports that he made for Arab Pasquale to get to Torhalu Point through Port Authority. Also mentioning that there were quite a lot of firearms and radio equipment being brought with them, as well as boxes of this odd fungus. The Copperhut Police Department caught up with the group just after the fighting ceased and took Tonus into custody. Now the party stands in the aftermath, planning their path ahead. What do you do?
Looks at session notes. Well, I mean, we knew that those guys on the footage were not Port Authority pieces of crap. We know where we're supposed to go, right? We have to go through... Is it Holub Port? Is that right?
Torhalu?
Holub Port? Names are weird.
Torhalu Point.
Wow, I
That's the one.
fucked that spelling up. Holy shit.
Torhalu Point, which you know
Ooh.
that Torhalu Point is sort of like the last station before just vast wilderness and expanse in Ukulam, which is like a natural reserve. It's been agreed upon by all of the nations of Castrovel that Ukulam would not be settled or have any type of like cities built in it or townships built in it, so that it can remain a beautiful landscape with, you know, natural resources and everything untouched. The only people who are allowed to go in are like researchers who are exploring some of the ancient ruins and just taking account of like the endangered species, and so like biologists, botanists, entomologists, just, you know, sort of research mostly coming from Kabarat University. And oftentimes there will be equipped with you know, arms. They will also be traveling alongside like security forces. So Terhalu Point is quite a ways away from Kabarat, but there is Port Authority, which I'm not sure. See, everybody roll a culture check, just to see if you can get an idea of what, if you know about this Port Authority, if you've heard about Port Authority.
19.
10.
11.
My culture is actually good. I need to stop complaining.
13.
11.
How did I do that?
All right.
You actually rolled well? That's crazy.
So Fidget and Zix. So you know, just from some of the mission briefing, that Kabarat conducts trade by land, sea, and air. And like many of the other settlements on Castrovel, it also maintains a number of magical gateways known as Ayudara, or Elf Gates. These are not large enough to sustain heavy traffic, so the local port authorities manage the use of these gateways to prioritize shipments from those who pay like a premium. So it's like a premium warp gate for instant transportation across most of Castrovel. Most of these portals are in Kabarat's Gateway District, which is a smaller area along the city's like eastern side. And it rarely interferes with any of the busy harbors or spaceports, since it's often its own little district.
So do you have to pay a sum of money to use them? Is that what's meant by premium?
Um,
Can anyone use it?
It's not too. You know that there is to use them to get to some gates. It's just like a payment sort of thing. But to some other gates are restricted and require specific passports, which you know that Tuonis N was making those counterfeits for. He was making counterfeits so they can get through those portals. You're kind of tying it together to go to Torhalu Point because it's a restricted access location. It's like the last stop into the nature reserve of Ukulam.
But shouldn't our Starfinder badges, I just ask Zix, shouldn't these get us through?
Why don't we ask this dude? I painted the dude we kept alive, the forger. He would probably know what kind of badge we need.
Didn't
He's hauled away.
Yeah,
Oh,
the police took him away.
the university professor mentioned that they had to apply for permits, right?
Yeah. Professor Muhali, the sort of like the dean of that department, or the department head for Silstarni's department, mentioned that they had to get special badges, special like passports to travel through there. So they had to get proper authorization, and that you know that she is capable of getting you this authorization, but you're not sure what process it is. You just know that she might be able to get you some, and since you helped the Kabarat PD, they might be able to help. You're not too sure, but
Well, maybe this is a dumb question, but should we just call the Starfinder Society and see if they can, like, fast track that?
Yeah, it might not be good to just sort of twiddle our thumbs. I think some fast tracking would be good if we could.
I'm really good at twiddling my thumbs, though. I show Bells. See?
Oh, dude, that's awesome. What the hell?
You have
Can I try
thumbs?
and do it as well? I'm just very, very clumsy.
I
have clan fibers.
Ah.
I'm gonna call the university Gidget. Do you want to call the society?
Yes.
And I'll find out what needs doing, and you can see if they can fast pass us.
Fast pass. Yes.
Disney Fast Pass.
Oh, so you have a diamond card membership in our airline. Here, you get a fast pass.
Yeah.
Here you go. Now boarding all Diamond Pass members
Exactly. To Tuhalu Point, yeah.
to our Hollow Point.
So now my understanding is that Tuhalu Point is the Disney World of this planet, so that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Well, like,
Expectations.
well, like, is it Epcot? Is that the one with all the plants and animals?
The Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, sure.
Oh boy.
All right,
Okay.
so who's doing what?
I'll call the Starfinder Society.
And I'll call Muhali.
Okay, so you call Muhali first to get an idea of how the process goes.
Mm-hmm.
So you call her phone, and the first couple times there's no answer, which kind of makes you a little nervous. But then as you call again, she answers the phone a bit in sort of like a breathy tone. She's like, "Yes, hello."
Hello, it's the Starfinders.
Oh yes, brother Clerk, was it?
Yes. We believe an element has absconded with your professor into Tahalu Point.
Oh shit. So it's like I feared.
I'm afraid so.
Well, so I'm guessing that you all need to get to Torhalu Point to continue to try and help us find Silstarni.
Indeed.
All right. Let me see real quick. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. She begins typing on her computer. Okay. So I can try and get authorization going. Oh man, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be a bit difficult. Would you mind sending me your crew, all of your crew IDs, and I will submit these as soon as I can to Port Authority to try and get some authorization going. And if there's anybody you can contact to try and help speed this along, Port Authority can drag their ass sometimes, and you have to plan these things out months in advance. It would just really help with all of these organizations to try and allow passage through the Ayudaras.
We recently assisted your police. Would that help?
Oh, actually, yeah, that might be. If you get to the Port Authority, I am sending this to, it looks like a gate controller, Rayeri? Yeah, Rayeri. And she should be able to help you. You might mention that you helped the QPD. And if the QPD if they can get a hold of the QPD and give you some verification that you are who you say you are, then I'm pretty sure that you should be able to get in. Also, I mean, while you're there, it might help to ask about the camera footage of the group that had come into the university carrying out lab equipment, dressed as Port Authority. Yeah. I don't know what they would say to that, or if that was, allowed, if they commissioned it, or if it's something completely against their knowledge. I'm trying to tie up loose ends here as far as contacting the family and just making sure that everything's kind of settled, covering classes. Unfortunately, this is all I'm going to be able to help with. I can send by a little stipend just for your help on assisting recovering our professor or our doctor. Would it be all right if I sent the stipend to you, or who among the crew should I send the credits to?
I would probably be best.
All right. I'm going to be sending over 2,500 credits. You should be seeing that now, and you hear a little ding on your data pad, and you see that you received 2,500 credits from the Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology. And in the little memo box, it says like recovering Silstarni. If there's any other information you need that you think I may be of help, I will do my best. But there's no guarantee as of right now. I'm just so swamped with all of this work here.
Your assistance thus far is appreciated.
Oh, and your assistance is just incredible. I appreciate all that you're doing, and I'm so thankful that the Starfinders are able to help. Please just try and find her and get her back safe if you can. I gotta go. Bye. And she hangs up.
Yo, just got paid.
Quite.
Now we don't see the magical portals now. 6 is very antsy.
I need to find the Vesk officer, the lizard bro.
Lizard bro.
Dude, one day I'm
Lizard
gonna
man.
Lizard man.
Lizard man.
Call back.
The 20 a day lizard man.
There we go.
Just make Lizard Man a recurring character. He's just always on every lizard.
That would be pretty great.
That would be pretty good, yeah. Well, do I need to call the... You got it? You're good?
I don't... Would it look better if the Starfinders themselves sent our crew details? That's like a big rubber stamp as opposed to us sending them.
Finagling them? Yeah. I can call... that guy.
Actually, wait, no. I can make it look fine. I have Profession Clerk. All the paperwork will be fine. That's not a problem. I will assemble our crew manifest and send it to Muhali, and everything will be in order.
Right. So you got he's got it. Good job. Yep.
He's like already on his data pad, just like.
Okay. So do we need supplies or anything before we go? Because I'm assuming we have to take our ship, or no?
No, we'll be traveling by one of those doors. Oh no, we're going to see a gatekeeper. I assume there's a door involved.
Is there a keymaster? Is there a... No? Okay.
Gate control. Though there is only Zool.
Thank you. Thank you.
But once we get to this gate, we're gonna like need to go through some forest, right? Like, I don't know, machetes maybe?
Ooh. Big
Are you not all
weapons.
prepared for overland travel?
Nope.
Let's look.
I have boots.
The boots are made for
A walkie.
Just heft his bag like, okay.
Dagger? Probably not, huh? Nope.
I am fit for being on the ship.
I have a smoke grenade.
Ooh, I think I have one of those. I don't know how to use it though.
Yes, we'll
I have
still find our way
toolkits.
through the forest.
I don't.
What do we maybe need to buy then?
Oh, I have a survival knife. This is my knife.
It's a good knife.
A tent, rations.
Wait, what?
You might need a torch. It's like.
To camp?
I mean, it's a nature
Great, never mind. No, hold on.
reserve.
I'm the captain.
Yeah.
We have to camp. That's right.
That could be fun.
How's it working? Does it look good?
Looks pretty good.
Okay, Gary, that's great because I can't hold this anymore because it makes my back hurt. Okay, fine.
Six immediately stands next to Gidget and tries to assume a pose as well as first mate.
I'm really glad you didn't say assume the position because I would have cracked up. I said it anyways. How do we look? Look good?
You look like you need 10.
So, where are you all heading?
I guess like Clark is like going through his bag and being like, do you have tents? Do you have
No.
like
No.
meals ready to eat? Do
No.
you have like
We can eat bells.
Hey! Don't eat me.
is bells a food? That's not.
We can make great tea out of him. It's
Please
delicious.
don't eat me. I like to be uneaten.
You know,
Do you
not
grow-
all kinds, but
Do you grow fruits?
snack.
No, but you can put my hair into tea and make nice tea.
Oh,
That's not food.
To drink, that's one of the two things you need to do. I mean, I don't need to eat. I just photosynthesize. So, you know, this eating thing is all on you like fleshy dudes.
Okay, you all need to come with me.
It's good.
Your
Clark
Neuraxis
takes the
is
gang.
showing.
Clark takes the gang to the space version of Go Outdoors. And just
Six actually gives you a serious thought and then asks for the clerk, do you eat?
Yes.
Oil? Eat like old.
No.
Do you eat oils?
No. You saw me have a meal in the bar.
That's
So
true.
where does the food go? Because aren't you like metal and stuff?
I'm.
Does your
What?
body turn food into metal? Dude.
Oh my god.
I'm.
Do you
Bio-
poop?
Do you poop gravel?
I.
You poop nuts and bolts?
Oh my god.
Listen, I feel like this is all important questions, okay?
This is
I don't want to see a trail of nuts and bolts and be like,
No.
oh yeah, I'll give this to like Blink to do some stuff.
I can
No,
just
that's
like picture
poop.
all of these smaller characters walking along with a very tall android yelling, "Do you poop? By the way!"
What does your poop look like?
These tiny children as they run around screaming, "Do you poop?" It's a great mental image.
Oh my god. I'm already
Yes,
crying.
I
Androids poop.
I eat and drink
Electric sheep.
and go to the bathroom. And yes, I do dream of electric sheep.
Yes. Hey, nice.
Damn.
Good reference.
That's interesting.
Wait, do I sleep? I've got to remember now.
Oh.
Oh, I do sleep, but I don't breathe.
Okay, here's a question. So, you're mechanical, but you don't breathe.
Sort of
Can
both.
you
But yes.
Swim and hold your breath indefinitely, or do the water affect your circuitry?
We're getting into the real questions here.
So you go to sleep in a fish tank.
Let's see. No, I will be fine in water.
So when the
Fascinating.
underwater mission happens,
Yeah.
we know who
We
we're
said
I do
saving.
not like water. Water gets in like the fur, and then like it gets sticky and smelly, and it's not fun.
Hey,
Yeah,
one
he-
more
He
way.
also doesn't suffer the environmental effects of a vacuum, so I can just, walk out of the ship.
Get spaced and be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, if our
if you
ship
pick
gets
something
destroyed
that
and
you
we
were
all die horribly, Brother Cook will be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
He'll
we're gonna
just somehow
die.
drift to the next planet.
And he can fly the ship, so he'll just.
Oh,
Yeah, so if
oh.
something goes horribly wrong on the outside, we send you. Right?
I mean, yeah, I don't breathe. That's fine.
Or if we don't have enough beds and someone needs to sleep in a fish tank, you could do that.
I'm not sure why I would.
Makes
That doesn't
sense.
sound
As soon as
If we
we
don't
run
have
out,
enough
we have to
beds.
go straight to the fish tank.
You can reel us
I
back
find
in
all
at
of
any
you.
point. Any point you want to reel us back in, you go right for it, because we would do this for an hour.
Yeah, and
I'm
take
fine.
very hard.
I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere.
I find all of you
Yeah,
very
I mean-
confusing.
That's fair.
I'm just so as you make your way to Kabrat Port Authority, discussing androids and if they dream and how they poop, and whether or not they can breathe water or if they get electrocuted.
Sheep.
You come up to the Port Authority and you try and flag down a port worker, which is fairly easy. They're running back and forth, just maintaining the ports, escorting people back and forth, escorting shipments through the gates. And you see these portals that are just elegantly built, and it looks kind of like a shimmering surface, but it's almost see-through, like you can see through it. But it's like there's nothing there, but every now and then you see a bit of a ripple, and a bit of a ripple. And then once somebody passes through it, you see like a completely different environment for a split second as they go through. And then it's back to just translucent with little ripples. And you flag down a port worker and you ask for gate controller Rayeri, as Professor Muhali told you. And they escort you over to gate controller Rayeri's desk or office, essentially, which is pretty close within distance of the portals, but in sort of a glass building with all the windows made of glass, so they can easily see the comings and goings of all of the Ayudara. So you come up to this female Damaya Lashunta. just working on a computer. Looks like going through notes and everything. Just paper scrawled about her desk. What do you do?
This one's yours, big guy.
I feel like we need to pick up supplies for all of you before we...
So we don't die in the jungle?
I mean, yes.
Practical.
That plan.
Well, maybe, do we want to split up?
If commerce and stuff passes through here, there's, I assume, a shop or shops of some kind. Is that a reasonable guess?
That's, yeah, there's like, you know, the airport travel gift shops, kind of like, welcome to Kabarat. And it's like everything that just says, like, Kabarat circa, you know, like, founded in.
Ooh, I need one of those shot glasses.
Yeah, exactly. Shot glasses, keychains, all way overpriced.
Of course.
But you're also able to find actual merchant places as well, actual shops. And it looks like they have like weapon shops, sort of like protective gear for the environment, and just things to ready your trips out to wherever you're going.
Yeah, it's like, does everyone have backpacks? Does everyone have travel clothes? Does everyone have R2Es and tents?
Nope.
It's like the most basic. You can eat, travel, sleep.
Wait, an R2E? What's an R2E?
Meals ready to eat. R2E.
I don't need those.
I have a backpack. Batteries.
Good.
We have all the batteries that we picked up off of those guys that we shot.
Hell yeah, boy.
Maybe say that a bit quieter.
They were bad guys.
What do you mean we shot? I think Ava shot most of them.
Those
Ava
bad
shot
guys
most
that
of
we
them.
shot.
I made
He didn't do anything. Ava killed those guys. We're not accountable for that.
Yeah, Ava doesn't need supplies. Like, do you need stuff for Ava?
Ava's fine. I have my engineering kits and my custom rig, which means I can fix Ava. I have what I need right now.
Okay.
But I don't have anything other than that. So.
Oh yeah, who wants that flame knife? I forgot.
I think Zix had it, right? Did Zix pick it up? The Inferno knife?
The Inferno knife.
Maybe? I mean, I don't hold it up. I don't really use a knife. I just summon stuff from realities.
Gidget picked it up but gave it to me.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Nice.
But I don't necessarily have the biggest use for it, so if someone needs it, that's fine.
I just point at Brother Clark.
Is it an operative weapon? That's the only thing. What kind of thing is it?
It is just a 4th level basic melee weapon with the analog and operative special properties.
Oh, so it is operative. Then yes, I can use it.
Have
so
fun.
Trick attack with a flaming knife.
So I've got track of the batteries, and I put the credits back that we got off of those dead dudes in the party inventory, which I'll do a list up proper. We have the and who has the armor? Did anybody need that freebooter armor?
No, but is anyone wearing that Lashunta that we picked up from the professor's office?
Wearing it.
Blink's wearing it. Okay.
Wearing what?
I think you're wearing that armor, right? That we picked up.
We also have a ring of protection that no one put on so far.
Yeah, no one's got the ring. Is anyone wearing?
I don't think I put on anything.
Oh.
Would you like
then
to?
Yeah,
I can wear some armor.
The Lashunta temp weave.
Basic Lashunta temp weave.
From the office. And then each of the smugglers had freebooter armor. So you got 3 freebooter armors, and then 4, and then one of them, I mean, Tonus was still wearing it, so. You didn't like strip them down and send them to the police.
Oh,
All right, take your pants off. Take your pants off. We need that equipment.
Okay, well.
And then you also got 4 azimuth laser pistols with 4 batteries.
Yes, I have the batteries.
That are partially charged.
I mean, we have some extra stuff. Some of these extra pistols and stuff. If no one wants it, we could always try to sell it or trade it.
Yeah, freebooter is. Freebooter what I've got on.
I already have freebooter armor on, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
don't
temp
have
weave
anything on.
But then, do you want the freebooter or that temp? You might as well put on the temp weave that we just got then.
I can put on whatever.
So as you all are going through the equipment, Brother Clerk, you get a message from Professor Muhali on your datapad, and it says everything's taken care of. Port Authority has been sent the video footage and has been sent your IDs. Also, we have instructed Dr. Al-Nuaf to assist you by providing you with additional gear requisitioned from his project's inventory once you get to Terhalu Point.
So after we go through the...
See, that's like when they tell you that your suitcase is overweight and you start taking everything out and they're like, oh no, my bad, that was our scale. And you're like, fuck, god damn it.
Sorry, our scale needs to be calibrated.
Yeah, shit.
10 kilograms.
Oh, well. Okay, someone take this ring, because I don't want to do this for 20 minutes. Someone take this ring.
Oh, so soon. Oh my gosh.
Zix takes it and slams it on Fidget's finger.
There
just
you
so
go.
someone has
Wham!
Take it.
Shablow.
Okay, so
You guys are married, right? That's how the ring thing works? Cool,
Yep.
cool.
yeah, what's the ring? And
+1.
Yeah.
It's
plus
a
one.
ring of protection. Yeah. And it's
Ring of
+1 to one of your saving throws, I think.
I thought
saving
Zix-
throws. Okay.
after that, when Zix does it, she says, "Oh, I'm not sure how it works. What your customs are. I am not proposing marriage. I just think like someone should have this ring, and as first mate, I should like take responsibility and dole out equipment. I'm sorry if you got your hopes up prematurely."
Brain didn't go there before you said it, so we're fine.
Oh, but I
Come on,
was starting
Ranger.
to wonder, so I'm glad you cleared that up.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Ring of protection. So is it a normal Starfinder? So I'll find it if I Google
Yeah,
it?
it's in Well, you can find it in the compendium. It should be in the compendium.
So I can like drag it over. Was my question?
Yeah, you could drag it over.
What was my armor called?
Lashunta Tempweave.
Gotcha.
Basic, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
No.
basic Tempweave, yeah.
What was the name of the
There we go.
resistance?
Ring of Resistance, yeah, maybe that's it.
Uh,
I'm getting D&D and Starfinder.
I was gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 because
It's
there
a
were
Mark
5 different
1.
three-
It's a Ring
Well,
of
yeah.
Resistance Mark 1.
Yes, then then it's there. Thank you.
So, all right. So you got an email saying that once you get to Terhalu Point, Dr. Al-Nuaf will help you since he's Kabarat University's stationed researcher in Terhalu Point. So he's permanently there, and he has like a sort of inventory of supplies for going out into the jungle. So Muhali has secured or has requisitioned some of that supply to go to you all to track down Silstarni. However, if you do want to shop for equipment, like besides that, like if you want to buy some new weapons or some new armor or something with some of the money you have, that's fine. We can just kind of, fast forward through it if you want, so we don't take too much time shopping unless you all want to.
I think forwarding is a good idea.
Yeah, because most of the stuff that you'll be able to, as long as it's not like some wondrous item, most of the stuff that you can afford, you can probably easily get a hold of, since this is a main trade port.
Okay. Maybe just some extra batteries.
I mean, we've got all of those.
Ton of batteries.
Does anyone not have like dark vision? Are we going to need a torch?
I have low light vision.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Do we have
Yes,
dark
we do.
vision?
Mm-hmm.
We do. I have a question about the ring again. I'm sorry for asking, but looks like it's a magical-ish thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the Spellbane feat. If I gain the ability to cast or use spell-like abilities, I will lose that feat. Will this ring count like a spell-like ability? I think it's a DM choice.
I don't think so.
Nope. Okay,
It
good.
grants you magic protection against. No, because this is not. I think what you're saying is the Spellbane is if you gain the ability to cast spells. So if you ever multi-class and gain the ability to cast spells like innately, not like magical equipment. I don't think magical equipment would counteract your Spellbane stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, I don't see in dark, but I can like sense things in the dark, so it's not a big issue.
I have a flashlight.
There you go.
You can make light.
I'm assuming we have to be the level of equipment to like buy it. Like we're level 3, so I couldn't just like buy a level 4 gun or the tier 4 gun, whatever it's.
Yeah, I think that's how that works. I think unless you find it, you can't like. Essentially, the level of the weapon is like what you have access to, like at shops and stuff. I think I can double check that, but it's not like you could just go out and buy like a level 8 weapon.
And then just hold on to it.
Yeah, unless you find one. If you find one, then yeah, it was given to you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll double check that though, just to make sure.
I'll just pick up a couple more because some of those.
Because I'm not entirely sure about shopping in Starfinder because their equipment's kind of differently set up.
Yeah, I'll just buy a couple more batteries.
So,
3 of the ones that we have are aren't full, so just in case we can store them. I got a backpack. I can actually hold a battery in my cheek pouch if I so decide to.
Same.
Yeah. It's like, this is where you keep your extra ammo. Is like, I've thought about that.
Does it specify?
Yeah.
Does it? Oh my god.
Yeah, like they have cheek pouches that they can hide shit in.
We can hide shit in our cheek pouches.
That's where Ava goes.
That's the
Oh my
best
god.
thing I've heard.
You keep Ava, who has a camera, inside your mouth.
If she needs to be hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yep. The chat is calling us chipmunks. That's literally.
You can hide like a small gun inside your cheek and just like.
It has to be a certain size and a certain weight, but I think it's a swift action to pull something out of your cheek pouch and then utilize it.
Could you have a knife in there?
Yeah.
That might be bad.
I mean,
mouth knife.
I can protection around it, and then you can put it in your mouth completely fine.
I took hidden compartments, so I can hide anything up to bulk 1 inside my body.
Even Clark is a chipmunk. Very good. Chipmunk body.
Just like hide a gun inside my chest for going through a metal detector.
I think you should. We have all these extra guns.
Please disarm yourselves. Oh, we will. Plenty of faces.
So the item level is like the scarcity. So.
Okay.
So it kind of like says the scarcity, and it also has kind of like the hardiness and the hit points. So if you try and sunder, like if your item gets sundered or something, it won't break as easily if it's a higher level. So it also means that it's harder to find higher level equipment, and you'll have to like find connections and find arms dealers who have those kinds of equipment. So just assume that you have access to anything 3rd level and below.
Okay.
So, so while all that's going on, you approach Rairi, and she looks up from the desk, and she's like, "Hello, welcome to Kabarat Port Authority. How may I help you?"
Muhali sent us. Sorry, are you
We want to go through the portal.
Rayeri?
Yes, right. I'm Gate Controller Rairi. Yes, I believe I did receive a message from Professor Muhali at the Copyright University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology. Oh, okay. Let me just pull up. She sent me some, what looks like video footage and documentation for 5 travelers.
5.
Who didn't get in?
Oh, nope. Oh, there it is. Okay, 6. Sorry. She forgot to attach the last one. All right. Let me see.
Just for funsies, who did she forget to attach?
Oh God.
6. 6 is clearly the 6th one.
I'll never tell. You guys, that's the main mystery of this entire game. Is just who did Muhali forget to attach on the email? We'll never know. Is she the big bad? We'll never know. Anyway, she pulls those up and she says, yeah, and it looks, she told us to contact QPD, and we had talked to a couple of the agents there, a very gruff Vesk, and a very just done with everything Lashunta woman, and they said that you all helped them to capture somebody who is counterfeiting IDs and who may be involved with this footage. Let me just pull up the footage real quick.
Yes, a super bad guy that we caught. Turned over to the police.
And Ava shot everyone else, not us.
Ava did it.
Oh, wow. Why? Wow, that is. I don't. Okay. Let me pull up the assignment logs real quick for the past 3 days. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of our employees were actually sent to the university, so I don't believe that the people in uniform in this video are employees of Port Authority. Let me see. It looks like only a few people have traveled to Terhalu Point lately. Actually, at all. It's a decommissioned military base that's a research station, so really only, researchers and a few armed guards and escorts are sent with them. There's only, it looks like, one group that recently was sent out carrying lab equipment, cryogenically frozen organic compounds, and looks like specialty rations and food with the authorization from Copyright University. Oh, okay. Let's see. The documentation doesn't look like. Wow, there's a lot missing in this. Okay. Well, it looks like you have proper authorization, so I can allow you. Let me print these off real quick. And you see this this 3D printer looking box just materialize these plastic badges that have the Port Authority logo and each of your faces and names printed on them, and they just sort of scroll down this conveyor belt onto her desk. And she picks them up and hands them to each of you. So each of you have a Port Authority passport, essentially. Well, okay. I think that should be good. Is there anything else that I can help you with, as far as access or anything?
Those fakey Port Authority guys that you have footage of, do you need us to keep an eye out for anybody else like that?
Yeah, I would be very certain not to trust them if they are wearing Port Authority uniforms. However, the ones that went through to Terhalu Point weren't wearing the uniform, so this is very odd. We'll continue to look into this on our side. This is not a good thing that our uniforms were stolen and used for this crime.
Clerk can probably give you security tips.
I appreciate it. We'll be working with Kabarat Police Department and trying to find as much as we can. If there's not anything else I can help you with, please let me know. Otherwise, enjoy Terhalu Point and have a wonderful day.
Okay.
And she just turns and goes back to typing. Looks just very like zoned in on her work.
Well, we can go. Who
Yeah, I
wants
guess
to
she's
go?
coming with us. Through the portal. Can't believe that process would have taken like months. That's crazy. Went in there and we were like, bada bing, bada boom, we're out of here.
Bells, I have a very serious question.
Yo, what's up?
Is there a tree mafia?
Oh?
Are you
Give
sure?
me- Let me think about it.
Okay.
And he like actually like looks into the sky and like puts his like forefinger under his chin and goes, "Ah man, why would there be a tree mafia? We're all like dopesies on Gorus Prime, just like normal dudes."
I was just curious. I wasn't sure if there was a tree. I would have put it on the message board that I've been really bad about. Well, we haven't been on the ship. But, yeah, anyway, never mind. We should go through the portal.
Okay.
Let's go for the portal.
Zix is like, we have to hold Zix back.
Not yet.
So I'm just gonna say that for expediency, that you all visit a couple shops and get all of your equipment shopping done. So whatever credits you have among you, just go ahead and spend, and just let me know what equipment you buy, just so I can kind of verify that it's okay and not like game breaking. So besides that, you all make your way over to these giant gates, and as you walk up towards them, you present your badges to the authority, the uniformed guards there, and they're holding these like big rifles and sidearms and just fully spec'd out, and they just sort of look it over, and then they just wave you on through, and you walk through the Terhalu Point portal one by one.
Can Zix, when she walks through, like, try to, like, see if I can get a sense of understanding about this magic that's at work here at the portal?
Sure, make a mysticism check.
Yeah. 14.
14. All right. So you're not entirely sure what kind of, you know that it's a teleportation magic, but unfortunately this is such like ancient structure and ancient magic that it doesn't come off as readily available. It looks like it's a hybrid mix of technology and magic. So it's sort of a hybrid item. So it may be that there's a technology that is allowing the amplification of the teleportation magic that is inscribed on some of the runes. But to that side, you're not entirely sure. But you do know that the magical side of it is a basic teleportation spell. But for some reason, it's been amplified by these technological advancements.
Yeah.
And you begin, Zix, as you pass through it, you get these strange images and visages in your head. You see these giant structures, pillars, stomping down onto what looks like salad. And you're like, well, that's weird. And then you flash and you get another glimpse, and you see these like flying scorpions, flying rats, and you're just really confused. Is this another dimension? Is this another like odd dream that I'm having? And all of this is happening in an instant, so it's just flooding your head instantaneously. So these are very brief images that you're getting. And then you witness this humanoid body, faceless, colorless, just a figure laying on like a tree stump, just laying there. And you see that the surface of what you believe is its skin start to writhe and wriggle as if something is crawling underneath it. And then you just see a flash of red. And then it blinks again. And you open your eyes this time, and you come out to this beautiful landscape on the other side of the portal. So,
this is gonna be interesting.
the station at Terhalu Point sits at the tip of a broad peninsula covered in rolling plains and expanses of tall, pale green grasses that shimmer with violet hues in the wind. Short-lived blooms of magenta fungus tower nearly 20 feet over the landscape. Though many have begun to wilt, and others are marred by bite marks of half a dozen sizes. Trumpeting calls echo across the plains as immense six-legged creatures with long, swooping necks trek steadily across the grass toward the western jungles. Beyond rises the Singing Range, its peaks barely visible through the haze. Welcome to Halu Point.
Woo woo. Oh, it's
Such an epic
pretty.
description, and then wah.
Yeah, those. I walked up to Gidget and say, Captain, I have a report.
Report, first mate.
Okay.
Am I supposed
We
to put my hand down?
Sure.
Okay.
We should A, beware of flying scorpions. B, some things here really don't like salad. They like stomping on it and they're huge. And C, if we see a like kind of skinless, colorless figure lying on a tree stump, there's something weird crawling under their skin, probably not good. Should approach with care. Report over.
Report. Intake. Done. I don't know the official language. Okay. So.
Why specifically salad? Salad is so good. It doesn't do any harm.
Question. Do you know how much salad I can store in here? A lot.
It's a lot. I've tried once.
It's a lot.
But
It's a lot.
why do you want to store salad in your cheek?
Because salad's good.
Yes,
it's a
but-
snack.
From the salad stomping monsters.
You ever just like get deep into a game and you don't want to get up but you're hungry and then you get cheek salad. I'm done.
Or if you're in like all you can eat buffet and you have to leave, then you just stuff a lot of salad in your mouth
More for your money.
before you go, and then you have food for the rest of the night.
But doesn't the food just go soggy and gross?
It's gonna be gross after you've eaten anyway,
It all
so
mixes together in the same spot.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but I don't leave my food to get gross before I eat it necessarily. At least not on purpose.
Guess
So
as long
as
as
you,
you all are making it gross. So anyway,
As you all walk through the portal one by one, you come out on the other side to see this Terhalu Point, and you realize that it doesn't look very, what's the word I'm looking for, like current or up to date. It looks like for all intents and purposes, a decommissioned military outpost. Which, from what Rairi said, it was actually a military outpost, which has now been transitioned to convert most of the gun turrets and bunkers into what you can see greenhouses and biology labs that are setting on top of these parapets and along a lot of these walkways. And you see this big male human walk up. He's got little darker brown skin. And he's like, "Oh, hello. Are you the ones I am to meet here? You must be the Starfinders."
Yep, that's us.
Oh,
Yep.
great. I am Kair Anuaf. I am a researcher here at Terhalu Point. It is my belief that you are to be traveling through Ukulam.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We are looking for missing person.
With the last party that went through, right? There was a group not too long ago. About 15 people or so.
No.
Correct. Armed mercenaries with a professor.
Yes, yes. I believe it was Silstarni.
Oh yeah, that one.
I believe she was with him. I do not recall. There were a lot of people.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, we gotta find her.
They were mostly mercenaries. Look like a La Junta. Mercenaries. They were headed to Elven ruins to the northwest. Something about archaeological survey.
Big
They all looked.
Yes,
yes. A big dish, a satellite dish. They were carrying a lot of equipment, probably trekking for a couple days or so. So I believe you are headed in that direction.
Yes.
Here, let me pull the maps out. And he rolls out a couple of these huge scrolls that are maps of the region, and then he pulls up this data pad alongside it and pulls up the newer, most recent maps. And you see these figures, and as you sort of look at this map, you're kind of cross-referencing the notes from Halquim's on that you all received. And you're looking back and forth. And so Dr. Anuaf is like, yes, and where is it specifically you're going? Are you following the same path as these others, or?
I would love to go to the Rune Obelisk.
We are following them.
But we are following them. That is our mission.
Yes, that's that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, can anyone else hear Chris?
No, I'm getting bits and pieces.
Okay, I don't think he can hear us either.
He has disappeared.
Yeah, he did. Hold up, y'all. Sorry, technical problems.
See,
oh, no.
They did mention.
Bits of DM sound. Oh no.
Days on foot. Stars low and.
Fix it! Oh no! Discord's pooping out on us.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
No.
Alright.
Oh.
Is that better? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear
Yes.
me. Oh, sweet Jesus, that's not good.
Can we mute Hallie?
What?
I can hear all of you.
Oh, yes, he's back.
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
All right. Where did I cut out?
At the start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck. Let me prepare monologue again.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Me. All right. So, Dr. Anuaf pulls out these maps, and you all are looking at these maps, and you see some consistencies in some of the map. For example, you see like a statue, and you see like what looks like this like obelisk or this structure. So you're seeing these odd placements across the maps. And so Dr. Anuaf is just like, and what course were you thinking of using to cross Ukulam?
The easiest?
Do you have any orientation that I might be able to plot a course for you?
Well, we have the notes, right? Is that the orientation? if we just follow the landmarks that are?
Yes. Let me take a look of this.
So we first go to the Rune Obelisk, the Plague Warden, the Forsaken City, and the Stairs to Eternity.
It's
Okay.
is it a temple? Is that the?
Yeah. So it looks like you're going to the abandoned city as well. It. Let's see. If you go here and then you track up there to the statue, you should reach the city in about a week or so. So I'd say at best it's 10 or 12 days of travel on foot. You will be traveling through some very sparse lowlands, but also you will travel through some dense subtropical rainforests as well. So you should then reach the foothills of the Singing Range. So if you look out over there, those mountains, that is the Singing Range. And I would advise that you take some of this additional gear. It gets really hot here. The days are very long and muggy. I'd say on the average is about 90 degrees just a little bit after the sun rises, and then it just continues to get up from there. Please, we have the requisition that Dr. Muhale has sent us. We have separated it from our inventory. It includes, let me pull up the list here. There's a Lashunta Ringware 2, a carbon steel curved blade, a sticky bomb grenade 2, 4 doses of tier 1 antitoxin, and 4 doses of spray flesh. You may also take the supply of field rations that you need. So I should give you about 3 weeks worth. Should be good for this travel there and back. So you do not have to scavenge on your way there. Let's see. Also, you're welcome to the ammunition that you need. I would say about 100 credits or so of ammunition per person, as we are trying to, keep resources for ourselves. Also, there are recharging stations along the outposts. Just feel free to use them as you need. I don't know. Do you all have tents? Would you like to borrow some of ours? We have backpacks as well if you need them.
Tents would be good. I think
They will require equipment.
Man, I bought gun batteries, okay?
All
Priorities.
right. He just sort of like waves his like finger in the air, and a couple guys come over. A couple of the not mercenaries, the guards come over. You see them carrying backpacks and tents. And it looks like the tent's already attached to the side of the backpack, sort of like a hiking backpack. It's a small little mass-produced tent with a backpack, and he just hands this.
Do you have a 6-arm backpack?
I'm afraid we do not have that specific. We just have these very simple backpacks. They're not specified for any race. Specifically, they just have the 2 straps. I mean, you can adjust it as you see fit.
I'll make do. And then, like, the next 5 minutes, Lix just starts fidgeting around with the backpack, like, trying out different arms and stuff.
All right. Well, if you would like, it looks as though. Oh, I forgot to mention. After you guys, when you left Furtir Point, it was towards late evening, and now after you went through the portal, you come out on the other side, and now it's early morning, so it's just past dawn, because you're on a completely different side of the continent.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
Dude, we traveled for time.
Woo! We did it! Oh, wow, that was trippy. I've never traveled through time before.
Yeah, dude.
Can I ask this guy, like, what about natural dangers? Storms, beasts, anything that we need to keep watch out for?
Yes, I mean, of course, the heat, heat stroke, heat exhaustion is all really common. You have to be sure to utilize your armors. What do they call the the environmental protection suit armor. Every set of armor utilizes a specific environmental protection. So you get about 1 day per like the ranking of the armor. So you get about 1 day of environmental resistance before the equivalent of the batteries run out.
Okay.
Before it is essentially useless until it is recharged.
Okay.
So this can help with the very hot temperatures, the mugginess, the long days. There's also freaking mosquitoes. There are a lot of fauna and flora to be careful of. It's hard to go into detail for each one, as there are so many species, a lot of which we have no information of. However, if you do see any fauna or flora, just try and steer clear of it and just, let it be. That is the best opinion that I can give you. Other than that, I mean, we can escort you. We can drive you out to a little bit outside of the outpost, but from there we are not allowed to have any vehicles past that threshold.
So no land speeder travel. Got it.
Yes, unfortunately, due to the Castrovellian regulations for Ukulam, we are not allowed to have any vehicles inside of the reserve at all. So it is strictly foot traffic.
Understood. Do we have everything, everyone? Everyone check. Got some extra batteries. Got weapons. Got food. How far... Got tents. How far apart are the battery charging stations out in the reserve? Is it like one station a day, or...
What do you mean? Out in the outpost?
Yeah, in the outpost.
In the outpost, you can just recharge. It's like essentially unlimited. You can recharge however much you want.
Okay.
Since it's directly connected to this power supply back in Kabarat.
Okay, I was thinking there were
So
some
it's
out
got
in the reserve. Never mind.
No, there aren't. There's nothing. Once you get out in the reserve, it's just nature. They're not allowed to build anything out there.
All right, we're gonna
So
rough
it is just jungle. You're roughing it.
Oh boy.
Can't plug your batteries into a tree anywhere. Very sad.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bring your solar chargers, because
I really love this. It is such a
it's
city
gonna
person,
be.
like kind of question. It is like universe. Where are the battery rechargers out there in the wilderness? Do I plug it in a tree? How does it work?
Gidget doesn't know, man. That's just like so foreign to her. So what do you mean we're out in the jungle?
I just loved it. That's great.
Yeah, this is Fidget's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
No electronics anywhere.
A bunch of city folk. Oh no.
Oh dear.
But-
All right.
Oh yes, I got
Right.
all of it. Yeah.
So-
this- Okay.
Does anyone use swords? Wait, maybe bells.
I mean, I use a doshko. That's just the sword with extra steps. So,
Is this steel curved blade going to be better? Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it if no one else is using it.
I don't know if anyone else can use it.
Go for it. A lot of us aren't sword wielders, so
I'm definitely a sword person.
not really a sword.
Heroes born, you know.
But yeah, for the sake of making it easy, Clark would have made sure everyone bought travel clothing. That'd be the one thing before we came through.
Okay.
I have protective fur.
That's right. You do.
Literally, it's a thing I have that gives me gives me pluses to rolling against cold or heat.
That is wild. I love it.
Jesus.
Are you claiming my flight suit station wear isn't outdoor clothing?
It's more that travel clothing also makes you go an extra 2 miles a day. It's like having proper boots and having proper.
Okay.
Clothing.
Terrible.
Should I hate to ask, but does anybody here speak Elven
Uh-oh.
or can read or translate Elven?
Uh-oh. I don't know.
I have a spell for that.
No.
Most of the I'm saying this because most of the runes and markings you will come across, so any particular traps or dangers that are marked from the ancient cities will be in Elven, and it would be very important to have somebody speaking Elven or able to read and translate Elven. We have a translator working here. If you would like for me to go grab him, maybe he could come along with you.
I do have a spell I can cast that makes me understand whatever language I want to.
That's handy. I mean, no offense to your guy, but I would be afraid of him. Listen, we're a little new at this. I don't want to get him dead. So.
Yep. All right. I just.
Do you have like a
It's just
pop-up book of runes that we could take with us?
I don't think so.
Fine.
Like a
Specifically,
guidebook.
that part is very important.
He is translating a couple of runes that we've actually acquired. So.
Oh,
But otherwise,
I was just hoping there'd be like a pamphlet, you know, like when the beginner's guide to some other languages, and it's like, hello, goodbye, where's the bathroom? And this is like cold, fire, danger, don't go here, extra death, like shit like that.
Nope.
Did you say extra death?
Extra death, yeah.
Extra death.
Extra death.
Have some extra death on the side, please.
Yeah. I would like that on the side.
All right, if there's nothing else that you need, I can have some of the security forces here drive you out to drop you off if you would like to begin your trek now, or if you would like to, sleep, that's fine. It is early morning. It does not matter either way.
We should probably move. The
Yeah.
longer they're out there, the further ahead they're getting.
I agree.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
It's the morning. We have the whole day ahead of us.
So you all load up into these various vehicles. It's 2 vehicles, and they drive you out. And as you drive through, you just see this beautiful grass with this like violet sort of glow to it as you drive through it. And this grass ranges anywhere from 3 feet to 8 feet tall in places. So it's very obscuring to see the ground because all you see is like an ocean of grass. And then as you get closer and closer, you start to see the edge of the jungles, and there are these posts, these big signs that in Castrovellian just say nature preserve, and then in common nature preserve, and in like every language nature preserve, warning, no vehicles allowed. And so the security forces pull over and they drop you off and wish you luck. And now, there you are, in the grass,
Oh boy.
out in the middle of nature.
Uh-oh.
And
I'm among
can go
my
ahead.
people.
And we could go ahead and take a break.
Yeah,
if
buddy.
you would like.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. So Chatbot is getting is super excited. I need to tweak that a little bit, but I got it working, so I'm proud there. Yeah. So we'll put our intermission little reel up, and we'll take a 10, and we'll be back here very shortly.
Yay!
Back again.
Welcome back. So you all are traveling through the grasslands after being dropped off by the security forces of Tirhalu Point. In the distance, you see the beginning of the jungle. However, it looks like it's a bit of a trek through this grasslands before you can actually make it to the denseness of the jungle. So, see, for the first couple days, let's see. I'd say for the first 2 days, I won't need you guys to make like a survival check to like orienteer because it's pretty straightforward. The path into the jungle, there's only really like one way forward, and Dr. Anuhaf pointed you in the direction that you'll need to start going. So before you actually get into the denseness of the trees, it's not going to be too hard to make your way around, just with like passive perceptions and passive, orienteering. So let's see. So the first 2 days, could I get? Let's see. So are you all activating your environmental protection this early, or are you wanting to just endure the hot conditions and try and see how how you'll do for these first couple days? What are you all doing?
I think Gidget would ride it out for the first day and see how she does.
Okay.
The same with Blink. Just see if the light armor is too bad or yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're not activating the environmental protections in your suit yet?
No.
Let's suffer it for the first day, yeah.
All right. So anybody who's suffering it needs to make a fortitude saving throw.
Boy.
Fortitude.
What's that? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, fort. Yeah.
20.
Oh, okay.
8.
8. Oh no!
I should have
16.
Oh, God, also an 8.
It's a 10 plus 2 from my protective fur, because it says I get a +2 to fortitude saves against cold or heat from it.
Oh god, that's a lot of 8s.
These rolls are so bad.
Oh, that's a lot of 8s.
Yep.
All right. So let's see. So we have a 20, 16. Oh god, 8, 8, 8. All right. Anybody below a 15 takes 1d4 of non-lethal fire damage.
Oh.
So you take 4 non-lethal fire damage
Okay.
just from being hot.
Oh.
And that it comes out of your stamina before it comes out of your hit points, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Starfinder also like D&D in the way that when you do a big sleep, does everything regenerate, like your spell
Yeah,
slots?
your stamina and your HP regens after you sleep.
Okay, and spell slots as well, I assume.
Yeah. After a long rest, essentially. I think so.
Did you say 4 or a D4?
4. I rolled a 4.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's non-lethal fire damage. Okay. Okay. So the first day, you all set up camp after getting hot and bothered. You set up camp out in the grasslands, and you are all just kind of around the campfire, just chilling.
Everyone's just sweating their asses off.
Yeah, now the sun has gone down and it's gotten back to a cooler, more bearable temperature. So it seems like it seems like the days are really the only bad parts.
Clark will go inside his extra nice tent that has environmental protection. It has to be plugged into a battery.
Oh god.
Wait, he's the only one who has this tent? Like we all just have the normal
Yes,
tents, and
because we
Kirsten
suck.
have like one.
You got to give them
Uh,
the basic ones. I have a nice one.
We have
It-
essentially a garbage bag.
Battery powers that we need for our weapons, so you can sleep more comfortably at night.
It does have space for a second person.
Ooh.
Who's collecting
How
this
small
crap?
was it? Could it fit two of
Roll
us?
for initiative.
If,
Platinum
I think it's that thing of like they're like trying to put up these like rickety borrowed tents, and Clark's like it just nicely like clips together and stands up. It's like, just looking at who seems like they've suffered the most from the day. It's like
Aw.
there's a second pod. Like the dead giveaway is when he like plugs a battery into the tent. That's the like.
Oh, we messed up on our prep. We should have gone shopping. Okay, anyways. I just loaded up on weapons. I was just like,
Yeah, it has environmental protection like armor. Uses a single battery. Uses one charge every night.
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh,
Better than Dinky Dink, whatever everyone else has.
basically like oilcloth strung between two trees. Yeah.
Just the worst kind of.
The worst. Yeah.
The real piece of shit tent. I hope
Yep.
we don't freeze at night. That might be a thing. Who knows?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think you'll freeze. It's
We'll
pretty hot out
freeze.
here in the jungle.
And also, why do the bugs like us? No! Just like slapping everywhere.
They don't
The
seem to mind
flavor.
me.
I help Gidget. I slap with 6 arms.
Oh, that's jeez.
I'm playing whack-a-mole with mosquitoes.
Is there?
Oh, 6 would be really good at whack-a-mole.
Oh yeah, it'd be like Zix. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop.
Tangent.
Yeah.
So, an uneventful night, and you wake up the next morning and get around and pack up camp and everything, and you start.
Classic. Everyone looks really shitty, ruffled fur, like heavy eyelids. Everyone looks like shit, and then Clark comes out like he's just taking a shower, like needed to if he wasn't. And he just looks like he had the best sleep, and everyone else just like, oh, coffee.
It's like putting on bug spray.
Oh God, on an android.
Just eating an like it's one of those like ripped open, boil in a bag pouches, just like eating it with a spoon.
Man, extra shiny. He just like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Blast, enjoying it.
Looking like his hairless Ken doll self.
Oh dear. He's got the mask like back on and his hood up and whatever. He's in. Hey, I've
So
done
the
D&D.
second-
I know how nice having good camping gear to awful camping gear is.
Yes, it makes such a big difference. Canvas tent versus like an actual tent. Oh my God.
Mm.
It's so nice. Anyway, so for the next day, once again, you all are just traveling, and it doesn't. You guys have a general sense of your orientation, so you don't need a survival check. However, it is once again hot, so if you all are activating your environmental protection today, or if you're just going to grin and bear it.
I think today is a good day for environmental protection.
No, we recover. We get up like stamina and stuff back every night. So screw it. I'm going to go without for another day.
Same.
So anybody who's not activating your environmental protection, go ahead and roll another fortitude check or fortitude save.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm well rested.
damn it.
11.
Why are there so many
damage.
fucking 8s?
And anybody under 15 takes 3 damage.
Okay.
Non-lethal fire damage.
Those
So as the
damage.
day wears on, you all are walking through this grasslands, and it's getting a little uneasy because now it's getting up to a point where it's over all of your heads, so you can see essentially nothing, and who's leading. Yeah, Zix is just gone.
Because isn't the grass like also like violet colored? Like in the
Yeah,
purple?
it's got like a violet coloration to it.
I'm just gone. I have a little ball of purple fur in the tall purple grass. Six would never
Zix is
hurt.
just invisible. So, Brother Clerk, you're leading the way, right? Or
It's good. It's me or bells. I don't like.
all right. So, whichever one of you wants to lead the way, you're just essentially chopping down the grass, making a path, single file through this grass. Very similar to like the Jurassic Park scene when they're walking through the tall grass with the velociraptors in it. But you don't hear any velociraptors or anything. But it's just you can't see. You're just seeing, grass. You're seeing between grass. Every now and then the wind will catch the grass a certain way where you can start to see like out in the distance, and you can look up and you see that you're actually approaching the jungle canopy and you're getting really close to the edge of the jungle. So you rest again another night, so you can go ahead and regain the stamina points. And on this next day, you're actually starting off right at the edge of the jungle. So, as you all wake up the next day and start walking, you notice that there is a lot of. Oh, actually, Zix, make a mysticism check for last night.
28.
All right. So you have these very vivid dreams. You see the party, you see the crew waking up, and you see them walking, and you hear a gun blast, a sniper shot, and you see Digit go down. And then you hear this crying, this bellowing of these large creatures with these ginormous hooves and feet that look like pillars. And they just begin trampling through the forest and stomping on all of your party. And as you look around, you see Fidget lying there, helpless, bleeding out. You see Bells just scattered across a tree after being kicked by one of these giant creatures. You see Brother Clerk missing an arm with sparks flying out of the socket where it was. And you see him limping on a leg just as a foot, the shadow of one of the big hoofs comes down and erases him from your field of view. And you see Blink running away as fast as possible, but cannot escape and gets head-butted up into the air and gets impaled on a tree limb and is just there, motionless. You wake up in a cold sweat and you realize that it was just a dream.
But they were just dreams for Ziggs, I think.
And
I would imagine that. I'm doing a think.
so this is the creature that you saw in your dream. These are what you've seen off in a distance feeding on the giant mushrooms. These things are towering titans, just been roaming through the jungles. And you're not sure, is this an alternate universe? Is this an alternate reality? Is there some sort of danger that we're walking into? You're not too sure. You go back to sleep. Unless, what are you doing?
Yeah. I wake up, like sweat drenched, and I'm like, bad one. I like pace around my tent for a bit, and then I decide to go over to Gidget's tent and like enter silently and like poke her, and she's just like, Captain.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up? Other than the bugs.
Yeah. Bugs. Yeah. You know how sometimes I'm a little weird? Like, you know, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but sometimes I see things that other people don't.
I don't call that weird, though. But I'd call that special. You have a special ability, but yes.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, you might not find that ability so special and charming in a moment. So, I mean, to be fair, like the visions and stuff comes a bit more from like the like kind of magic that I do. It's all a bit fucky wucky.
Spooky, yes.
But I also, in addition to that, I especially see things at night when I sleep, in my dreams. I've had it for like basically always. Um, and things that haven't happened yet, maybe they won't happen. They could potentially happen. Um, Sometimes
I
they
have
happen.
this weird sense you're about to tell me something really bad, because this is the hemming and hawing that people do when it's bad news.
Yeah, my dreams are usually bad news. Yeah, like, sometimes I hope it will just be a dream of like, oh, we're like all having pie together or something like that. But I've yet to get like a nice pie dream. Um, Usually it's like, oh, the pie is poisonous and everyone dies horribly eating it. More those kind of dreams. And yeah, and I had another one tonight of that kind.
Okay.
And it was pretty bad, and it involved basically all of us not having a so great time in this jungle. There's some mutilation, some getting sniped in the head, being splattered against a tree. I think then it takes me a bit to get coherent sentences together, but step by step I like explain the dream as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to point out like it doesn't mean it will happen like that. There's a chance it could happen. Sometimes I see things that like don't happen to us, like us here, but like another version of us. But sometimes it could also be the us in like the future that it happens to.
Were we still in the grass when all of this bad stuff happened?
I think we were in the jungle.
You were surrounded by a bunch of tall trees.
Okay.
Okay.
We crossed over into the jungle.
So there was a sniper and then a bunch of these big animals.
Yeah.
And everyone got squished and shot and stuff.
Yeah. If we encounter, if there's a sniper, they will most likely go for fidget. Unless something happens that makes it so they aim for someone else other than fidget, but there is a possibility that they'll aim for fidget and that they'll hit. Is the best I can explain it.
That's okay. You're doing good. This is good to know because we'll want to tell everybody in the morning. Because then we'll need to be watching out and making sure that we're paying attention better to our surroundings and maybe not dying of heat exhaustion. So maybe we need to use the batteries. Okay. Yeah, we need to tell, and I can tell everyone in the morning, or you can do it. I don't want to re-traumatize you from that.
I mean, as long as we can prevent it from happening, then I'm good. I'm quite used to it. Um,
No
it's
offense,
just,
but that's kind of a shit ability.
yeah.
You say you're used to, that's so awful. I'm sorry.
It's not really the dreams that's the awful part. It's the awful part when I can't really do anything about it, and then the things really happen, or sometimes like people get really mad or like just scared because you know, and then they're like, "Oh, shut up, get off the planet," stuff like that.
Okay, I'll have you explain that later, not now. Well, then here's what we'll do. We'll tell everybody in the morning because I don't want to wake anybody else up. They need to sleep. Um, we need to be on alert and we need to be ready. And we have a lot of guns. Um, we have a lot of guns. And a lot of batteries. So we'll be okay there. And the warning is really good. I'm glad that we have you with us, Six.
Thank you. Where you come from? Have you ever known anyone else who has things like I do, who can see like things in their sleep?
There were always stories. I'm from a really big family. There were always stories about people who could do that, but that's all it mostly was from what I understand. Whether they could actually or not, I don't know. Um, Legends get bigger sometimes than the truth itself, you know what I mean? So, but you're special and you have special abilities, and we need to make sure that we listen to you and pay attention to what you're telling us.
That's very nice. Um, can I just how come then you believe me so easily? You know, I'm very glad, but you know, not everyone does.
I got very used to lots of people lying to my face because they wanted to be near someone who was famous for 2 seconds. And I can pretty easily tell when someone's lying versus when they're telling the truth. And no one hears bells, maybe a little bit. No, I was going to say no one hears a liar. Let me qualify that for just a second.
I think Bells did quite a lot of stuff before he came to the academy.
Yeah, but he's a good guy. Zix, it's just a matter of I trust the people around me unless you prove to me otherwise. I would rather go in with a positive opinion of people than go in thinking everyone's a shithead. If you prove you're a shithead, then that's different. But, yeah. It's really
try my best not to be a shithead.
Don't be a... Yeah, the general... I've heard the rule is don't be a dick, but I prefer shithead. Do you want to stay here and talk until you get tired?
Yeah, I think that'd be nice. We don't have to talk, but I think it would be nice if I didn't have to sleep alone for the rest of the night, if that's okay.
Stay here. I don't have the fancy pants tent that Brother Clerk does, but it's hot as anywhere else. Although the bugs like me. Start slapping everywhere.
I can help with that, and I help.
Ah! Gitta trying very hard to not show how bothered she is by what Zix just told her. Just with the whole, like, hey, by the way, everyone's gonna get sniped in the head and trampled. And she's like, okay, keep it cool, be the captain, be cool, be cool.
Could I do, like, an inside check to see if Zix picks up on any of that, or if she kind of buys that Gidget is pretty cool with like the situation.
Yeah, if you want to make a sense motive check,
Oh shit.
and Gidget, if you want to make a bluff check, just to see.
It's kind of important for Big Six.
24.
10. So.
All right, so you.
Gidget, she's pretty cool with this.
Yeah, you believe her. You feel very comforted by the things that she said, and
The comfort was
you don't
genuine.
sense that there's any. Yeah, so you get across the comfort and everything, and you believe that she knows what she's doing, and she feels like everything will be all right.
It'll be okay. And honestly, I mean, we took those guys down in the alley. We'll be all right. And
So you
I'll just build a trash pile.
with leaves and sticks.
With leaves and sticks. And this bone I found.
So you all you eventually find Resix and Gidget. You kind of lay there with her as well. She seems to kind of fall asleep on your lap, and you both just sort of fall asleep. And you wake up in the morning, gather around, get the tents ready and everything, and you're getting ready to head out towards the first section of jungle that you're going towards.
Let's have that chat real quick. And I just kind of look at Zix. Do you want to lay it out, or do you want me to?
Let's do it together.
Team meeting.
What's happening?
Come here.
Okay.
I look at Bells when he comes up sleeping, and I'm like, I had another dream tonight.
And Bells looks like he seems sleepy and then is instantly very awake and goes, "Oh shit, dude, you alright?"
Yeah.
Good. Alright, well, get out, I guess, man.
Take care of me.
Don't you all dream?
Yeah, don't you have dream evidence? I do.
Yeah, but
Is it-
like, the dreams are like extra spicy. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
This can explain.
Does it mean you taste things in your dreams?
That'd be pretty dope. I don't think so.
I mean, I often dream that I read a really nice book, so maybe it was just a really, really nice book. Is that a spicy dream?
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
Latest what could have used here.
I mean, I wish it was a dream about a spicy book, but it wasn't really that kind of dream. My dreams are usually a lot more violent and spicy reading, and like then she like explains like the contextual content of the dream, and like then after explaining it stops a moment and tries to like, apart from Bells and Gidget, tries to kind of get a sense how everyone reacts to this information, like if they seem like they believe her, if they're like shocked, if they're like, what the fuck.
Clark just like screws the flash suppressor onto his sniper rifle and like chambers around.
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna be that kind of day.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
How do Fidget and Blink react to it in any way?
Fidget just tries to remember what you told about her, that so she like can know. So she's just trying to figure out, okay, so if I remember, then I will not do the same mistake.
where not to be, yeah.
I'll try to describe it as accurately as I can. I'll try to explain like it's a potential that can happen. It doesn't have to happen like that. Like the slightest like event could change the entire course. Me telling is already enough that it will change it. But it's a like potential thing. And I
have a question about the dream.
Yeah.
Did you tell us this information in the dream?
I think we were dead.
Yeah, but did you tell us? But did you tell us before we died?
The dream started with us already walking through the jungle, so I didn't see me telling you guys in the dream.
So then now things are already different. So the chances of that not happening is probably a lot bigger. So it's less likely to happen, probably.
I like to think so. I asked when I had big dreams about them, and sometimes the things did still happen, sometimes they didn't happen. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out how I can make the things happen less and less, I see. But I'm still not quite there yet, I'm sorry. And then like
Don't be
Six
sorry.
like looks around like very sheepishly and like I think looks at like Bells and like at Gidget like specifically, and then she kind of like murmurs like sort of under her breath, but so it never gets it. And like sometimes I'm worried that me having the dream is what makes the dream come true. But I don't know about it. I don't think so. I hope
But
not.
even if that is the case, it's still not your fault because you can't just stop dreaming. That's not up to you to just stop. But thank you for telling us, because now we know, and we can help you stop it from happening.
I really want to prevent it from happening because you all seem like really nice people.
We've got it.
And
We can do it.
I don't want what I saw to happen to you in this reality. In any reality, really, but I'm afraid I can only try to influence this one.
We can do it. Clark will just shoot them all.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ava.
Now we have
Ava
the heads
shot
up.
really well.
I think
Ava can
Clark,
shoot really well.
Clark
No.
Clark probably kneels like right down to Zix. Like takes the face mask off. The stars don't speak to just anyone, little one. But I appreciate the warning. And he just holds out a flask. Like offers her a drink.
Six downs it.
It's very good whiskey.
That oil.
Like very good, like incredibly expensive.
Thank you.
Just screws the top
That
back
was
on
real
and
good.
like tucks it back in his robes.
Now, before we start walking, Six, do you need a hug?
I won't say no to one.
I sit down on my knees and like wrap my forearms around her, give her a squeeze.
Oh, the kindness.
Or I could just like wrap myself, like just like like.
Those comforting mandibles.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
And it's comforting. It's nice.
All right. So is there anything else you all want to do before you head out into the jungle? Or are you all ready to make your way?
I'm just going to pull some leaves off my hair/head, hand it to Zix, give her a little two-finger salute, and sort of look to see, alright, where to next?
Yeah. Let's go.
That way.
That way.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to head the orienteering check, it's a survival check to kind of get your bearings and get a direction of where to go in the jungle.
I'm pretty good, and I have navigator's tools, which I think is for this. If I double check, I think it's for this. Yes. Oh, they give me +4 to orienteering. Okay, yeah. I'll dig in my bag and get my various tools, like compass
Navigators.
and whatever. Yeah.
All right. And you also get a +2 because you have the notes from Hawkwings on. So.
Oh, so it's that +6, so 28.
Pull out everything, you get your bearings straight, and you know which direction you need to go. So you just start marching forward. You know exactly where you need to go. And as you start marching forward, you see that there are dozens of fauna and herbivores that are just walking around sort of this jungle. And as you look around, you notice that there's like a trail of this like fungus that is giving off a pretty immense smell. And it looks like that these creatures that are walking through are attracted to the fungus. So you see a group of these really tall, massive beasts with 6 legs, 6 gigantic legs, and long necks. And as you get closer, you see that they're fairly calm at the moment. So you make your way around them and try and keep your distance and not make any threatening moves. And you start making your way, and you keep walking forward.
I will be specifically on the lookout if I can just see anything that reminds me of my dream, like a particular tree or like landmark or anything that I.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Perception. 21.
21. All right. So you see, like, you're looking around, and you're getting a little agitated and a little fidgety because this is too surreal for you. It's like normally you don't see a lot of the alternate dimensions. You don't experience a lot of things from your dreams. You just see these visions of all these different realities, and sometimes they come true, sometimes they don't. But you just have this vivid memory of the last time that your dream actually came true. You're like, oh God, is this another time? Is this the moment? And as you look around, you see a flash of light off in the distance. It's quite away, about 180, 200 feet away. And then you hear a sound that brings even more terror and frustration to you as you hear a sniper shot ring out across the jungle. And you hear a baby Yaruk just cry out. And it seems that one of the Yaruk was shot, and it was one of the Yaruk that was closest to Gidget as you guys were making your way around them. And as this shot rings out, the Yaruk all just look around, and they start stampeding towards your group to try and get you away from their herd. So, this encounter acts different than a battle. This is a chase encounter.
Boy.
So let me go ahead and move.
Oh, poop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're in trouble. Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
That's
So you
a
see
big
these
boy.
giant creatures trampling through these trees towards your party.
It's a big boy.
Let me
boy.
throw this up.
Oh, shit.
Hello, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like Temple Run. So like,
Yeah.
oh, jump, right, oh,
Yeah.
duck.
So
Science.
Oh god.
here you go.
Oh,
Here we
You
go.
all see this?
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yee.
Yeah.
All right. So there are specific actions that the PCs can do to try and get away from these trampling Yaruk. The first thing is activate an ability. So you can activate a special ability or cast a spell that takes a standard action or a full action for you to cast or do. Let me turn this down. Holy crap.
Tweet, tweet, tweet,
The
tweet.
music. No, stop that. Okay, there we go. Sorry, too many sounds going all at once. All right. And this doesn't necessarily earn you any successes, though using it may help you to distract or eliminate an obstacle. I mean, depending on how you do it, or if it's like flavor and it's really like dope, I'll count it as a success. You can distract, where you draw the Uruk's attention away from the rest of your party, and they take a -2 to their AC, or you take a -2 penalty to your AC and against any effects from the Uruks during the next phase. And the other PCs gain a +2 to the AC and saves against those effects. So essentially you're drawing their fire to you. So you are more likely to get targeted than the other PCs. You can hide, where you just avoid. You try and take cover behind a tree or a bush or under a log to try and hide from the stampede. You can navigate to help identify a path forward that'll get you away from this stampede. You can scramble, where you climb over obstacles and swing across gaps to get you a success. You can spook, where you try and scare one of the Uruks to slow it down or to cause it to kind of veer off course and run the other way, or run into another Uruk to get a success. And you can squeeze, where you slip through, like you slip in between trees, or you like slide underneath a fallen tree branch to try and get your way out and to sort of trap the Uruks in their pursuit. So these are all of the actions you can take. And in order to succeed, you have to accrue a number of successes equal to 3 times the number of PCs. So.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
So,
Without getting crushed.
so you need 18 successes, I think.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we need 18 successes. So each phase, this goes into phases. So there's going to be a party phase and then a Yaruk phase.
Okay.
So the Yaruks act at the beginning of each round, and then the PCs go. And the encounter ends once you all escape from the stampede.
Okay.
Make sense?
All right.
Are you ready?
No, we're gonna
you
die.
All right. I'm pulling up the death and dying rules right now as we
Now-
speak.
If someone dies, does that reduce how many successes we need to escape?
Actually, the first move, Brother Clark just starts picking off his own
We just all
members.
die.
It's like,
That's
It's more-
why 6 of us died. Because
We need 0 successes and we win.
He just shoots
Wow.
Fidget and runs. I don't think
we did it! All right.
It's more like
so,
if one person gets away, do they on their own suddenly need to rack up like 12 to escape? Or is it like...
No, it's just 1 times 3, so then it'd only be 3 successes.
Okay.
All right, so as this starts off, your rook crashes through the trees, just as you're seeing right now, sending fragments of wood raining down and dealing damage to every PC. So everybody make a reflex save to try and take half damage from this fragmented wood, these
Um,
splinters just showering down
I'm
on
gonna
you.
grant Blink. I'm gonna use my reaction and give you a +2 bonus to that.
Nice.
To me?
Yeah, to Blink, because I have
Cool.
an envoy improvisation that I can use called Watch Your Step.
So then I have 13.
I got a natural 1.
Ooh.
Oof.
I got a 15.
All right,
Oh.
so
23.
all right, so
Does
anybody
this count as a skill check? Not a saving throw.
this is a save, so this is a saving throw.
Okay.
So
I
anybody
have-
who rolled a 14 or higher can take half damage, and the damage is 11 points of damage. So anybody who rolled 14 or higher takes 5.
Yeah. Sorry, I just have a quick question. As a reaction, when you or an ally within 100 feet is affected by a spell or ability that allows a saving throw, and with these stamina points, I can spend 1 resolve point to grant the target a new saving throw with +2 bonus. Would this apply here?
No, this isn't an ability or a magical thing. It's just an environmental. It's just like being shot, you know. So anybody who failed takes 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Anybody who's succeeded by 14 or more takes half of that, so 5 piercing damage.
That's stamina points first?
Yeah, it comes out of stamina first.
It comes out of stamina first and
Yeah.
then hit points.
I just gotta make
good.
sure I don't do anything wrong.
And Gidget, you see, so the rest of you nearby the shower storm, you see Gidget get pummeled and trapped underneath a branch that had fallen, and so you are now like pinned down, and you'll need to be like essentially rescued from this branch. You'll need to make like a strength check to pick up that branch off of you and to get it off and keep running.
So
Idiot.
I thought I remembered something. I take no damage because I have evasion,
Oh yeah. Evasion.
in case that matters for, I don't know, probably bells. I don't-
Yeah, if you have evasion, then you succeed. Okay. All right, so now PCs. So you could go in whatever order you want. Just let me know. Whoever wants to go first, second, just. Everybody speak up at once.
I will try to squeeze, or Clark will try to squeeze, like, past or sort of through where Gidget's stuck.
Go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
17? If that's good.
That is a fail. So you
Was this
slip
to
between.
help Gidget?
Well, it's the, like, PC action.
Yeah, was it to help Gidget with the branch? Or...
No, that's just flavor.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
His brother Clark goes and tries to squeeze in between a couple trees near where Gidget had fallen. You get kind of caught, and you're not capable to go through, but you manage to pull yourself out and just run around instead. All right, who wants to go next? Let me put a
Paige
turn
is
thing
also
up.
going to try and squeeze, but through another set of branches.
Okay. Go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
Oh shit.
13. All right, so
Oh, it's opponents. Forget it. I have a thing for it, but it's not. It's for opponents, and this is not an opponent.
yeah. The tree is not an opponent.
Nope.
So you go and you try and slide underneath a couple branches that had fallen down after the Euro crashed through this tree line, and you trip and kind of tumble over it, not exactly succeeding and kind of losing a little bit of ground against the Uruks. All right, so who wants to go next?
I would like to activate an ability. I would like to use my infinite worlds and within a 10-foot radius sphere, I can create difficult terrain. It's a special ability I could use twice a day. It affects creatures, objects, other aspects of the environment. Yeah, like it will create difficult terrain in the path. I want to create it in the path of the Yaruks. I just want to like, I concentrate and I reach out of my arms and I like pull through a rift, something, and I want the ground to become really like muddy, like so they have a hard time keeping up the speed, like they get like stuck and it's more difficult for them to move. So it's easier for us to like get away because I want to slow down their stampede.
Okay. Yeah, so you see Zix rip this rift open, and you see just a bunch of mud and goop just start to appear, and it's kind of bubbling as if it's from like a fermenting swamp, some swampland of a far-off plane or a far-off planet, and you see little tentacles kind of start to like curl up and then like reach out and grab some branches and pull them real quick down into the mud. And the Yaruks just kind of trample through it, and they start to like go slow. Some of the Yaruks actually slip and land on their side, and you see these tentacles start to kind of wrap around the side of their legs and try and pull these gigantic creatures in, but they're not able to. So yeah, that's one success towards moving forward, because that's pretty awesome.
I just want to stay close to Gidget. I can't do anything at the moment, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
All right. Gidget, what are you doing?
I mean, I might as well try to get out from under this damn branch.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check.
This is going to be funny. Watch this. Oh, 17. Okay.
Nice.
You manage to push it off of you, so you get both of your hands up on it, and your claws are just digging into the branch, and it's not quite enough, so you get your feet up, and you just kind of, you just with all four of your legs just push it off, and it flies off and it goes right into the swamp, and you see a tentacle like pull it up and pull it down, and so you're up, you're able to stand up. Now next.
I can stand from prone as a swift action, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so you're able to stand up, and then so you're good. So now next phase you'll be able to act.
Yeah.
All right, Bells.
I would also like to try and use an ability. I'm gonna try and use my Blossom Shower to like shoot hundreds of little petals at the eyes of these creatures to try and like distract them. You know, have these like swarming little things bite into them. Like get in their eyes so they can't see so well.
Is there any kind of like save or anything for that?
Let me double check. Make a will save.
They have to make a will save? Alright. Let me do that. Oh, come on. Oh, roll 20, don't quit on me now! Oh god, too much thinking. Okay, there we go. Did it work? Fuck 6. Alright, let me just roll it.
That's fine. DC will be 14. Well.
So 18. It looks like they're not really backing down from this. It's like the flowers and stuff, the petals that you sent for, they're just kind of like brushing them off, and like they're so aggravated and angry that one of their children essentially were shot and wounded, that they're just in a blind fit of rage right now. Blink, what are you doing?
I'm bad at all of these skills. Can I try to... I'm gonna try to squeeze, I think.
All right.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Yeah, so you fail as well as you try and go and squeeze in between branches. You stumble and you lose some ground against the Uruks. So, all right, the next phase. Round. Sorry, not phase. Let's see. Oof. All right, one of the Uruks runs into a tree and body checks, shoulder checks a tree, and that tree crashes in front of your path. And let's see, a random PC. Okay, I'm gonna roll a d6, and we'll find out who that is. So Fidget is 1, Zix, you're 6, obviously. Brother Clerk 2, Gidget 3, Bells 4, Blink 5. All right. And I rolled a 1. So,
Yay.
Fidget, this giant tree falls down in front of your path, and you need to make a reflex saving throw.
Take a +2
to try and
from me.
Same.
+2
+2
from my envoy improvisation. I can always point one person around. Yep.
18.
16?
18.
18. All right. Yeah. So you.
How give me +2?
All right. So you are able to avoid it. So you only take 3 piercing or bludgeoning damage, as a couple of the branches just sort of smack you as you roll away. However, since this tree is now in the path of everybody, all of you take a -1 penalty to acrobatics, athletics, and survival checks during this phase.
Ooh.
So now we'll just, yeah, everybody, all of the PCs, you have -1 to acrobatics, athletics, and survival checks during this phase. So now we can just use the turn order here if you want. So Brother Clerk.
Okay. What's gonna be better? You know what? I'll try and navigate. Let's see if I can get out of this with survival. Hopefully. 26. Yep.
Oh shit! Yeah. All right. Even with the -1 to the survival check.
Yeah.
So you look out and you're like trying to figure out, okay, where the fuck? Oh, okay. I remember we were supposed to go that way. I remember the compass pointing us in that direction. All right, we have to go that way. And you just sort of like motion to everybody this way. Like, this is the way we need to go. And that is another success.
Ooh. Yeah.
All right, Zix.
Okay. I want to attempt the spook action.
Okay.
I attempt to scare one by, I think I'll cast like as part of it to scare it, I will cast ghost sounds to like make it sound like there's like another, like simulate the gunshot, the sound of the sniper shot from before, to make it sound like it is close and to like kind of stir it into a different direction.
Okay.
Make a ranged attack. I guess I could try to shoot at it with my pistol. I'm really shitty at it, but I might as well try.
Go ahead and roll. Just roll a mysticism check to make the noise of the gunshot.
Okay. 16.
16. All right. So let's see. Do you have intimidate at all, or?
Yeah, I do. Should I make intimidate? check?
Yeah, try intimidate. Yeah, do an intimidate.
Oh, 21.
Okay. And then you don't have any damage with the sounds, do you?
No, it's just
With
a
the
sound.
spooky ghost noise. Okay.
You attempt to scare Aryaruk, so I thought that would be enough.
Okay, gotcha. I'll say that you're able to distract it enough that they start to veer in another direction. Some of them kind of break off from the stampede and start running towards that simulated gunshot, thinking that, oh, there's something else dangerous over here. So that's another success.
Yeah.
All right. Fidget.
I'm gonna just it's the best I have. I'm gonna try to squeeze again. 12. That's
Okay.
wrong. It would still fail. Like I have this because of the -1 and the DC is 1 less for. I can recall the correct one, but it's not gonna help me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's athletics.
That's
So-
athletics, but I have +1 bone. I have 1 more bonus to acrobatics, but the DC is 1
gotcha.
lower.
Yeah.
So it's like I can roll, but like I'm gonna fail anyways.
Gotcha.
We're just rolling with advantage, which is not right.
All right. So Fidget once again is incapable to try and slip between these objects. Fidget's just not used to being out in the nature. Just too used to being on a starship. Just all of this trees and grass is just really. It's uncomfortable for.
Metal.
I want good old fashioned metal and sparks.
This is probably not doing a lot improving Fidget's opinion of nature.
Nope.
Yeah, probably not. I hate nature. All right, Gidget.
Now that
What
I
are you doing?
see some of the stampede starting to move and Brother Clerk is pointing us in a different direction, I have a smoke bomb that I would like to set off to cover our tracks a little bit and kind of hide us.
All right. Go ahead and I don't know, how does that, do you just throw it? You have to aim for a specific square, right? And then you make a...
Yeah, it's it lasts for a minute and it covers 20 feet.
Okay.
So I want to set it off to just try and hide us. I don't want anyone to have to pass through it as much as possible, because if you pass through it, you have to make a fortitude save. So I'm basically just trying to obscure us.
Yeah, make a grenade, like, ranged attack.
Okay.
If that's a thing.
Yeah.
I think it is.
So that's the grenade, and then so you want me to just make a dex check?
Yeah, just a dex check to try and toss it away from the other PCs.
Right. Okay, got it. Oh, no, it's a 5.
All right, so you throw it,
Can't roll for shit.
and it kind of rolls back down the hill towards you, and you're like, oh shit, fuck, and it goes off. It does help.
Yeah.
But it also is bad. I'll give the success because that's a really good idea to try and block the vision. However, I'm going to give, let's see, I don't know. You're gonna have a -1 to another -1 to your navigate, scramble, squeeze, spook, and distract options for the rest of this phase.
Sure.
Just because the smoke is kind of starting to get in everybody's eyes.
Sorry.
However, it did blind the Yaruk, so they also don't. Now they can't really see where you're going. So that was good and bad.
But for this round, there's only me left, isn't it?
Bells and you, yeah.
Bells.
Oh, Bells too, right.
Yeah, so Bells, you can go ahead.
I'll take some smoke.
Yeah, you will.
Smoke them if you got them.
Hey, what are you trying to say, dude? Wait, yeah, is it Blink first or Bells?
It's Bells. Just this turn order to make it easier for you all.
Alright, well, since my some shower didn't work, I will try to squeeze. and zoop through some trees.
Alright, so you have the -2 on this. Squeeze through some trees.
Through some
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck. Alright, yeah.
He blends right in.
Why don't you,
Bells becomes one with
Bells?
the plants.
Bells, why don't you tell the viewers at home what that number was?
So I rolled a 29 all up.
Fuck out of here.
Almost 30. So close.
So close.
Oh,
So
wait.
even with the smoke grenade going off,
It's only 27. Sorry, guys.
you're able to slip through. Just like this is like just second nature to you. You're just like, oh yeah, trees. I like trees, plants. Yeah, that's my thing, man. That's like what I do.
Yeah.
And so you just easily slip through, and some of the Uruks kind of crash into the trees trying to follow you. So you guys get another success. All right, Blink. What are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna try to do a squeeze.
All right.
And I have a -2, don't I?
Yeah, because of the smoke and because of the tree that fell in your path.
Okay, so that's a 16.
16. Unfortunately, that doesn't pass the DC, so you try and squeeze through, but you're just too slow at squeezing through. Some of like your arms kind of get like caught on some of the branches, and you're like, but you're able to squeeze through a little bit, but not fast enough to kind of get a shortcut away from the Uruks. All right, so the start of the next round. Let us see what the Uruks are going to do.
Those trees are falling.
I don't like any of this. It's just numbers in the chat showing up.
The police are coming.
Yeah. Sorry, it says if you roll the same number that's already occurred, and yeah, so I'm just trying to keep it fresh, you know. I'm saying fresh. All right. So you get another Uruk crashes through the branches and sends fragments down. Or wait, no. Shit, sorry. Ooh. So, sorry, not that one. So several Uruks converge on one of you.
You.
Let me find out which one it will be. Zix. Several Uruks converge on Zix. Now I have to roll 2 more times for this.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bull.
What's happening?
Don't know.
All right, so the these Uruks run alongside you, Zix, and they start buffeting you with their body. So let me roll to hit. Oh my god, a natural one.
Yes!
She's too small.
Oh, I imagine like they're trying to like play soccer with me, trying to kick me with their legs, and I'm just like between their
They're
legs.
just like, ah! And if the second, okay, and then one doesn't do anything. So the next Uruk that's on you will, let's see, come on, guys, roll 20. So slow. The other Uruk next to you is going to trumpet loudly right next to you, and you will take 2d6 sonic damage, and you have a -2 penalty to any skill checks during this phase. You can make a fortitude save to try and reduce the damage.
Sure, why not?
So these two your rooks. Okay, 16. So these two your rooks come up. One tries to body slam you, but you zip right underneath it since you're so small. And the other one is just like trumpets, like really loud, directly at you. And you take 4 points of sonic damage, and you are able to shake off that -2 penalty with your save. All right. Next round, or next phase. Brother Clerk, what are you doing?
You know what? Now I know where we're going. I'll try and squeeze again. It's like I screwed it up before. There wasn't enough space. Ooh, 25.
All right, so you're able to slip through, and you take sort of a shortcut between a couple trees, and you slide under a log, and you get a little bit of like leaves and stuff in your mask, but you're able to dig them out, and you just continue running and running towards the direction that you navigated through. So that's another success. All right, Zix.
Right. What will I do? I guess. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to attempt to navigate. Like, it's not one of my strengths, but like I feel like I can't keep doing the same thing. So I'll try to like recall my dream really quickly, and basically use it as like a guide of like where not to go, and then try to reverse it and like find a good path. So I roll survival. Ugh, 16.
Right, so
Real close.
So you start remembering your dream, and you're like, okay, this looks familiar, but then you get lost because in the dream you all didn't make it this far. In the dream you all had been crushed to death before you would even reach this far into the jungle, and you start getting a little worried and confused, and unfortunately are not able to navigate a way forward.
I feel like she has like a slight moment of happiness, and she's like, oh hey, we already left like much farther than in my dream. And like then like, oh no, I gotta get to
All right. Fidget. What are you doing? You can make a ranged attack if you'd like to.
Yeah.
To try and spook them.
Can I have Ava make a ranged attack? She has the exact same stats as me, but she's been rolling way better.
Yeah, I mean you can any ranged attack you want to.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have Ava send a ranged attack.
Alright.
If I can get it to roll. Why won't it roll?
I don't know, it's been difficult for me as well.
Red attack, that's dexterity plus it's push. Okay. $19 to hit.
19 EAC?
It's a laser pistol.
Yeah.
So
okay,
yes.
so yeah, unfortunately that misses. It just glances off of their thick hide. These creatures are just so big that it doesn't seem like it took effect. However, you could still roll an intimidate check to see if that was enough to spook it. Hitting just gives you a bonus to the intimidate.
Yep. I'm just gonna check if Ava has better charisma than me. No. It is one worse. So yes, I'm just gonna...
Hey, you might roll a 20, you never know.
It's a 0.
Okay, never mind.
No.
I
Yep,
have a -2 to charisma.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah.
There's a
So
reason I didn't go for charisma-based things.
Fidget or Ava shoots at them. They don't really seem too scared of a tiny drone. They're just rampaging.
Yeah.
Gidget, what are you going to do?
Are we all starting to veer the way that Clerk was showing us?
Yeah, so you all are sort of navigating your way and following where Brother Clerk had started to make a path forward.
Okay. Could I try to distract them even further away from us, and either like throw some rocks toward them or something to get them away from us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a bluff or an intimidate
I'll
check.
do bluff. That's one better. 23.
All right. So you are able to catch the Uruk's attention either by throwing some rocks or some debris, and the Uruks all sort of like start looking over, and some of them veer off towards you. So everybody else gains a +2 bonus to AC until your next turn, and saves, and you get a -2 to your AC and saves until your next turn, since you're distracting them. So Bells, your turn.
Thanks for the distract. I'm going to do what I did last time, because that worked super duper good. So I'm going to try and squeeze my way through some trees again. Wait, no. Is there any minuses this time?
No minuses.
And I got 20.
All right, so you're able, once again, you're able to just slide through some of these trees. It's, easy for you. You just navigate through it, no problem. You kind of grab onto a vine and kind of swing around a tree and swing in between them, and then just continue running, following Brother Clerk. So that's another success. All right, Blink, what are you doing?
I'm gonna fire my pistol at them.
All right.
I guess this isn't a full attack.
No, yeah, it's just a standard attack.
14.
So you shoot your pistol at them. Is that? Oh, that's an arc pistol. Okay. So unfortunately, it doesn't. It seems like their hides are just too thick and they're way too big of creatures. It seems to not have any effect on them. You could still go ahead and make the intimidate check to try and spook them from firing off your weapon at them.
I'll try. 13.
So unfortunately, you're unable to spook them. They're still just blind raging forward. All right, so that is the PC's round. So now the Uruks will go. All right. Oh man. All right. Random PC once again. So I am going to roll a d6.
Oh my
God, and it's 6 again. All right. 6. So once again, these Uruks come up to you, and 2 of them this time are running right alongside of you, and they try and sandwich you between them. So I'm going to roll a d20. This has the potential to do a lot of damage. Okay, 8 plus 13 to hit, so 21?
Yeah.
Does 21 hit? All right.
Yeah.
So you're going to take 2d6 plus 6 bludgeoning. Well, okay. Yeah.
That's a
That's
lot
the
of
first
damage.
one.
That's
That
my
is
day.
a lot of damage.
That's great.
So you will take 11 bludgeoning damage as the first one runs into you.
I am 11. So, okay, so my stamina is all gone. And wait, that was 6, so that's 5. Okay, and I have 12 hit points left.
The second one rolled an 8 as well. So the second one slams into you as well. For another 2d6 plus 6. This has the potential to drop you to 0 hit points.
Remember it's stamina and then HP.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm on
Her
12
stamina
HP.
is gone. Oh, and we'll see you next time. Because we are out of time. Will Zix live?
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Ironically, in her dream, Six did not see herself die. So, you know.
True. That's true, you didn't.
You know.
Wait.
I would like you all to just be very well, you never get to call me a mean DM ever after the shit that motherfucker just pulled.
What? I didn't do anything.
Hang on. No.
I just rolled.
Happens
I just
in
rolled. Come on.
dead? Is there like a save or something? Like what happens in Starfinder when you drop to 0 HP? Is that the end?
So, funny. So the death or dying rules that I was mentioning earlier, you can actually stay in the fight. So if you're dying and you have enough resolve points, you can spend a number of resolve points equal to 1/4 of your maximum resolve points to immediately stabilize. So that just means you're no longer dying, but you are unconscious and at 0 HP.
Cool.
So, and then if you are stable and you have enough resolve points, you can spend one resolve point to regain 1 HP. So, if you are dropped to 0, you can stabilize using 1 resolve point, and then you can regain 1 HP the next turn using another resolve point.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to we'll do it, resolve it next time.
Yeah. So.
That's gonna be something exciting.
Holy crap. Yeah, so chatbot's been doing fine. The links are all there, y'all. We'll keep the trackers up for donations to the Bail Project and Color for Change. Color for Change, if you're not familiar with them, they're one of the first internet-based social justice reform movements in the States, so they have been around for quite some time. Because I have to remember that the internet's been in public use since the 90s, and dear God, I'm old. So it's one of those things where I'm like, fuck. So the tracker's up for the one, because I really can only have one up on the screen at a time without blocking out our whole window here. So links are all in chat. They're pinned on Twitter at terrible_party. If you're looking for more stuff to watch, you just need some levity in these dark times. We did have an entire 5th edition D&D campaign that's done. It's all archived. There's 188 hours plus of show there for you to watch. So yeah, there's Honey Heist that Anthony was in with Julia, which is absolute bonkers nonsense. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen and was truly enjoyable at the same time.
And Slam Banners.
Slam Banners is up, our Monster of the Week game that myself and Leech are in. That's run by our buddy Steve. So it's all there. If you're looking for some levity, I think we do okay with that.
There's some Deadlands. You got the Weird West.
Oh, that's right. There's some Deadlands in there too. I shot things in that one. There's some weird stuff we've done. All of our charity games are also archived that have been run by lovely different people that we work with. We're planning a charity event next month to tie in with the charity stuff that we're doing now. Get some new games moving through there, some one-shots, and I am doing a 10th level meat grinder dungeon crawl next week on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for online Drawlicon, which is in my neck of the woods. I live close to Indiana in the States, so we'll be doing that, and yeah, there's lots of stuff. Just please know that, you know, what is going on is really important, but it's also important to take care of your mental health, too. So, take care of yourselves, and Chris, you motherfucker.
I gotta keep y'all coming back,
Piece
man.
of shit.
Gotta tune in next time.
Damn it. Starfinder back in 2 weeks. We'll see you all next weekend for some Drawcon stuff. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.